Hey, welcome back to my channel, everybody. I am starting a new series called Portrait Studies. So, I've been gone for the past month and a half and resting up, working on some art, and I've been working on some oil paintings, and I realized I really suck at portraits or human profiles. So, I thought, let me do a couple heads a week just so I can brush up on my fundamentals, and that's what led me to create this series. So these heads are actually from Pinterest, and I just googled random people, and so I'm really trying to pin down the values. I find I have a lot of issues when it comes to values, especially pushing them through with skin color. So because black people have darker skin, the issue I ran into is how do I make the skin pop with different colors. So this palette I used consisted of blue, purple, I have red in there, I believe, maybe a little bit of brown. I try to mix up some colors. And what else? I think I may have lavender or lilac in there. So I gave myself a 5-color palette. I don't even think the colors mesh that well, but hey, it's my first serious study, so I gave myself some grace. So as you can see here, I've laid down the base colors. I find blue to be really good with brown, especially for black skin. I think on the color wheel, they're very, they complement one another. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm laying down the base blue color, trying to leave space for the shine and highlights. So I noticed, especially on this first guy I did, I tried to sketch out my highlights, but I'm thinking next time not to put such a harsh outline for the highlights when I'm actually doing the sketch with ink and just improvising with my gouache. And that's what this is. This is gouache paint with my paints. So anyway, I go through the first layer, make sure I show the highlights. Second layer, I try to add some color. Well, really third layer, I try to add some color. The ambient light. So this picture originally, the subject or the guy was in a room with some dim lighting. I think he had like red light on him. So I tried to show that through on the painting. I definitely need to work on how to blend colors better. That's another thing. Ugh, blending's so tricky. Now, the chick I'm working on now, she's in bright light, so she's not in dim lighting. So I really tried to push and show the shine on her skin. Now, the crevices like the eyelids, the chin, the lips, balancing out the color. So her color palette consisted of red, orange a little bit, and yellow. So I think balancing those colors, I definitely have to work through on pushing the shine through. I mean, the end result was okay, but I think I could have done a better job. And that's another thing with painting portraits. You have to feel comfortable stepping outside of your comfort zone. I tend to stick with safe colors, so maybe next time I'll challenge myself with picking more contrasting colors and see where that goes. But yeah, so I'm making sure I try to blend in her eyelids, and I'm doing her lipstick. Red is a tricky color because depending on the hue you select, and that's what happened. I didn't like how bright it was, so I tried to tone it down with a darker red tone. I played around with it some more. Didn't really like it, but hey, it is what it is. Now, with the chick up top, which I'm going to get to her next. With the chick up top, I tried to give her a purple base like I did with the guy on the left. Well, his is more blue, I feel, but I tried to give her a purple base, and that's what I've started right there. Another thing with gouache, even watercolor, you have to make sure the paint's dry completely. If not, you get a muddy look. And I tried so hard to be patient with myself and let these paints dry. So that's why I go back to the first guy, because I'm bouncing in between portrait faces, between the faces, just to make sure I give them sufficient time to dry. So you see that a lot in this study. So now I'm tackling the chick up top. Like I said, I gave her a purple or blue underlay. Now this is where I struggled. I introduced brown and the lilac, and I found they don't mesh well. So I definitely have to go back and do a color study because yikes, yeah, not good, no bueno. Now I tackle her hair. Now her hair in the original photo had an ombre, like from black to blonde. So I thought, how should I show that with the color palette I've chosen? That was very tricky. So I picked dark blue to purple. Oh, the worst combination, but hey, we move. Now the portrait or the picture on the bottom right that I started working on, I gave it a blue base and tried to do like a color transition between blue and purple, like from top to bottom. Didn't work out that way. Yeah. So the shadows, I feel like I started with one style, but then I morphed into another style. So it's originally a black and white portrait, so bringing color to it was tricky for me. I had to pick the right hues and then decide, okay, does the color palette match? I believe the colors are close enough to work, but yeah, I don't think it's the best. But anyway, I'm working on the shadows, and it's a tribal type of piece. I believe it's from a Kenyan tribe, so it's a really elderly lady, and she's in her tribal garbs or necklaces. I'm sorry, I don't know what they call that. But yeah, so I really tried to show the face. She's a really elderly lady. I tried to push that through in her wrinkles. I don't know if I did a good job. But yeah, I'm back in the chick up top. I'm adding highlights to her. And I find with highlights and shadows, you really have to make sure you push them through to make the picture or the portrait dynamic. I definitely know there's probably a term for it somewhere. Maybe as I do more portrait studies, I'll learn how to contrast those colors some more. So I'm working on highlights, I'm working on shadow. I did not like the shadow on her. I felt like it was too dull. I tried to go in and add some black and white to make it pop some more. And it helped a little bit, but not too much. But hey, anyway. So I go back to the chick at the bottom. I'm just going through and adding more shadows. So I'm bringing it close to my face. I'm bringing the sketchbook up only because I want to see it without the shine or the glare from my light up top. That's why you see the sketchbook being moved around. But as it dries, I can then see the true color. And that's the thing with gouache. When it's wet, it's one color, and then when it dries, it's another color. So you really have to be patient and watch the painting come through. And that's one thing I've learned with art, is not to rush the process, because I tend to be very impatient, thus leading to a muddy picture. But I think these portraits are a little better than what I've done in the past, because I'm more patient and I let the page dry. Okay, so I'm wrapping things up here. I'm adding the background color. I find I like to add really bright colors to my backgrounds. I don't know why, I just like it. I chose green for this portrait study, and I don't know. It works, I guess. So I'm just touching it up here and there. Now I did use a little bit of glitter paint. I don't know if you can, I guess you can kind of see it here, but yeah, I'm just experimenting with colors. Maybe I'll use the glitter. It's like glitter watercolor, just to give it some shine. Here's the end result. I think it's okay for my first try. I hope you guys enjoy. See you in my next video. Bye!